straight out of
NASA City, Houston, Texas.
Get ready for Tejano Time Podcast. Houston, Texas, tonight.
Giving you the news you can use and bringing you the hottest interviews in the Tejano industry.
It's about to go down with your host, Keith Leal. Houston, Texas.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Tejano Time Podcast starts
Now.
Please welcome your host, Keith Leal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode here tonight. Great Monday evening to everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Another great episode coming your way here in just a few minutes. Got a great show lined up for you this hour. So if you're tuned in right now, don't forget to share the live. I would like to welcome back Mr. Tony V, my co-host right here to the show as well. Tony, saludos.
Hey, how's it going? Everybody's doing okay, I hope.
I hope everybody's doing okay. It's Monday, so coming in from the holiday weekend and all that other stuff. But we're a little rusty, but we're gonna get there. Definitely gonna
Right,
get through
I'm
it
all
right now.
turkeyed out.
Yeah. So I have a very special guest. We're talking about from the great state of Florida. All right, as an artist, singer, songwriter, producer, doing a lot of great things in the industry right now. And has been for some time. And I would like to welcome him to the show. Here on the Tejano Time Podcast for the very first time, Mr. Jonathan Espinoza. Welcome to the show, Jonathan.
Yo, hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be a part of this. Is it a podcast?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. No, well, I'm excited, man. I've seen a lot of the different artists that you've had on, and I enjoy your show whenever I can. Whenever I'm in the studio, and I'll take a little break, and I see you have somebody live, I'll pop in for a little bit. I think you've seen me, obviously,
Yes.
from Florida and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but thank you.
Yes, and the pleasure is all ours here. We love to continue to do this, and that's what we're here for, is to share the music, share the artist. There's a lot of, people out there that don't get the opportunity to share their story, and that's what we're here for, is to bring it to everybody out there that's tuned in. So if you're tuned in, guys, right now, I want to send a shout out to everybody that's tuned into to the show on Tejano TV right now, as we're streaming it live on Tejano TV as well. So all the viewers that are watching the show, también, thank you so much, for tuning into the show. YouTube también, all our people on YouTube, they're tuning in, and also Tejano Time Podcast on Facebook. So you guys share the live. If you're watching the show right now, please share the live, just with your friends, your family, or whoever. We got some great music lined up for you as well. We got a couple of tracks here that we're going to share from Jonathan Espinoza. But let's get to know Jonathan right now. We got a whole hour that we're going to talk to Jonathan and get to know him and what he's all about, man. I mean, he's doing a lot of great things in the industry, man. So tell us what inspired you to take on Tejano music, man, and what are some of the biggest, who are some of the biggest influences?
Man, well, my biggest influences in the Tejano industry is La Mafia, Los Palominos, uh, La Diferencia, Latin Breed.
Okay, yeah.
Latin Breed, I have a personal close relationship with Rudy Guerra, who
Mhm.
was the original producer. I say he's the godfather of Tejano music because he was the guy who was the composer of that band.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, he's a close friend of the family's. So was Jimmy Edwards, a real good friend of
Yes,
mine. Spent a
Jimmy.
lot of time with him. Uh, I grew up listening a lot to Paulino Bernal,
Okay,
and
yes.
I actually got to tour with him for a little while when he was here in Florida. I wasn't playing or anything, but I was like helping with the instruments and whatnot, just learning,
Mhm.
listening. So, in the Tejano world, though, I think my biggest influence has been La Mafia.
Yeah,
And
wow. Some huge names. Big
yeah,
time.
I got a couple stories with those guys. So they're good friends of mine too. But so what happened was I had my own Latin Christian band that I started in 1998,
Okay.
and we released our first album in 1999, and we toured till 2005. We were touring 8 months out of the year, all over the
Mhm.
United States, Mexico, Central America, and
Wow.
we had a couple of hits that went international in the early 2000s in Latin Christian music, Latin
Mhm.
Christian radio stations. So So yeah, man. So like the first five albums that I did with the band was called Grupo Esperanza. The first five albums I recorded them at Houston Sound Studio, which is La Mafia Studio in Houston.
Yes. Okay.
And so
Yeah.
that's how, basically got to know them and know a little bit more about Tejano music and whatnot. So,
Wow.
but
And everything just blossomed. Yeah.
yeah, I guess so. Because
Somewhat.
I mean, it's a long story. I
Yeah, I
was
believe
I
it.
was so in '05 we did our last tour, and then I stopped doing music for a good while because my dad had renal kidney failure.
Hmm.
So he was on dialysis for like 2 years, I think, maybe 2 3 years, till I decided to donate a kidney to him. And
Hmm.
once I did that, I decided to help him run his business. So he has a construction business, like a telephone underground telephone placement.
Hmm.
And so I decided to kind of step away from music completely, and I started helping my dad out with the company. And I did that for about 5 or 6 years. I really didn't touch a piano. Well, I mean, I did praise and worship at the church,
Hmm.
at the church that I was attending. And then I don't know, one year in like 2000, what was it? 2000, I can't even remember. It's 5 6 years ago. It was like 5 6 years ago. I this I'm in my studio right now. It's a part of my house,
Hmm.
and I always had a piano in here, and I would come in here and mess around with it and whatnot. I started writing again, and I started presenting songs to some of the local bands out here. And I was like, man, I mean, I'm a writer. Let me see if they'll pick up any of my songs. And so the first Tejano song that was picked up for me was a song called Yo Soy de Ti by Completo and Aisha Aparicio.
Okay.
It's a duet. It's a duet. And that one went number one on Tejano Gold Countdown. It was number one
Nice.
for I think 6 or 7 weeks. And it was charting on a lot of Tejano radio stations. And so that kind of, I guess, lit a fire in me, and I just started writing for more and more artists and
Wonderful.
producing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been doing great at it, should I say? I mean, you've been. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that you have produced. Carla Christina was one of them. Back, about maybe about 3 years ago, I would say
Three,
3 or 4 years.
yeah, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I always heard everybody that's been my best work as far as writer and producer.
Hmm.
We did that. I did that whole album with her, and it's a it's one of the albums that a lot of artists and musicians and producers are always complimenting me about.
Yeah.
They're always reaching out to me like, bro, that album is. I can listen. I'll go on the road and I just listen to that album. I have it on repeat, and I mean, I think that makes me a little bit more happier than anything.
Than anything, right? Yeah, I would think that as well. It was some great stuff, great tune, great music as well. That album there, for sure, it was one for the books. There's no
And
doubt about it.
she's a great vocalist too. So
Definitely.
she
Yes.
she killed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Touching back a little bit, you said something about Pablito Bernard. I grew up. I'm a big fan of his music. Did he have anything to do with you with the Christian side as well?
Absolutely. So he did a tour here, I think in '95, maybe '95, '96, here in Florida.
Okay.
And he was already a friend of my father. So my father's a pastor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so he he's always known a lot of these Christian artists, I guess. Yeah,
Mhm.
Christian like artists. And so he already knew Pablino back in the day, way in the '80s. And
Right.
so when he came around to the Florida tour, it just so happened that my dad was in charge of kind of like ushering him around, taking him everywhere and whatnot. And I was already doing music. So I
Hmm.
got to, go on that tour with him. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks that I was just riding around in the bus with him with Ricardo Mejia and his two boys.
Hmm.
And I got to set up the instruments with him. I got to jam on his accordion,
Nice.
even though I got in trouble once. Or the guys that he had with him, they were Ricardo Mejia's boys. They were awesome musicians. I don't even know if they play anymore, but
Hmm.
sometimes sometimes during sound check they would grab his accordion, or they would grab and they would just be just jamming on everything.
Jamming on.
I remember specifically Paulino showed up one time to sound check because he wouldn't always show up, or he wouldn't come. I mean, he didn't have to. You know, he's a pro. And he showed it one time when they were doing sound check, and the guy that played the bass, he could play all the instruments. I mean, he was a master, and he was playing an accordion. I remember they stopped playing, and Paulino came up to him and he goes, "Un instrumento a la vez, nomás, un instrumento a la vez." Basically, tell him, pull my accordion down. Don't touch my
Yeah,
accordion, you know?
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That was funny. Yeah, so yeah, man, he had a huge influence in my life. Him, his son, Paulino Jr., Rita Bernal,
Eloy.
Yesenia Bernal, all of them. I got to spend a lot of time with them here and in Texas when I had my own band. So, all of those, super talented family. Super
Mhm.
talented family.
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You don't hear, a lot of artists, going back to the Paulino Bernal, or
Yeah,
even Los Chachos or
right.
Madrigal stuff. So, that's pretty cool, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, man. And so, Rudy Guerra, I mentioned him before too. I've
Mhm.
known, I call him Brother Rudy. He's a minister or whatever,
Right.
and he's an evangelist, and he does it for the Lord. So since I was a kid, I've known him as Brother Rudy. That's what I always call him.
Mhm.
When I was doing my first albums, he was actually here staying with us, and he would go to the church, and he would watch our rehearsals, but he would also give us input and feedback, and he would tell us, what not to do, what to do, how to do it, how not to do it. So I learned a lot from him, not just on the spiritual side, but musically. I learned a lot of different things from him. Jimmy Edwards, he used to come down here a lot too, and he would stay with my family months at a time.
Hmm.
And man, I got to spend so much time with him. He was one of the funniest guys. I mean, we would just laugh out loud. The guy used to pick me up when I was in high school. My parents lent him a vehicle to get around, and he would pick me up after school from
Mhm.
high school sometimes. Man, I would look so forward to that because we'd just be laughing the whole way home, bro. He was just one of the funniest guys ever. Funniest guys ever, man. Yeah, I miss Jimmy. He was awesome.
That's some great stuff, some good stuff right there, right there. Everybody that's tuned in right now, and I'm just going to send some shout outs real quick before we carry on. Right quick, here's some hellos to everybody out there that's tuned into this show. We have let's see, we got Luis Garcia's tuned in as well. What's up, Keith? It's been a day since the first day of December. Okay, I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lynn, también hola hola, is tuned in right there. Another great artist as well. Luis Garcia says, "What's up, Jonathan Espinoza?"
Saludos.
Yeah. We got
Ricky,
Hilda Peña también. She says, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
I think I saw Laura on here. Laura Science también.
yes, Laura
Yep.
Science is on there as well.
Leon
Esta from
Promotions.
Leona Promotions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saludos, Laura. Thank you so much. And we also have Mr. Juan Mendoza. Saludos from Tejano TV. We are live. Yes, we had some
Yes, sir.
technical
Saludos.
difficulties. Yeah, we got that. We got that all squared away. We're gonna blame that on D, right? Okay.
Because I was looking for it on YouTube and it wasn't showing up, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's
Okay.
definitely got. We're streaming it on YouTube as well. So, let's see, and Tejano TV también as well. And happy holidays. That's coming from my boy Ricky Duran right there, the evening jock. Great job there, buddy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mateo Carrion says here, "Yo, so glad I'm able to catch the show."
Mateo, I just wrote a couple songs for him. He's an artist out of California.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
I've
Yeah.
been hearing a
Yeah.
little bit about him. He's making some noise already. To be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Can't wait to hear his stuff, man.
Yes, good deal out there. Appreciate him as well. Este, Hilda también Peña, like you said, was tuned in. Juan Treviño, saludos. He's watching the show también. Saludos, Juan.
Juan, that's my brother right there.
The great guy right there, man.
Oh yeah, he's
Good
one.
deal.
He's a great friend. He's also one of my mentors. He's also a guy that I can go to for. I mean, and not just music, life, man, just life.
Mhm.
And I love that guy. Love him to death. Yeah.
Amazing. Great music también. So go out there and check him
Oh
out
yeah.
as well. Yes, amazing stuff también. So Joe Leal, saludos y bendiciones, amigos. Saludos, Joe. Thank you for tuning in. Ruben
Roy,
Orta también.
Roy Mesa también.
Yes, Roy Mesa from Roy Mesa Promotions. Keith. Saludos, Roy. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. So
Yeah, we
everybody
want
that's
to
tuned
welcome
in.
everybody. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
everybody for joining us this evening también. Don't forget to share the live. Este,
I'll share it in the morning because I'm on my phone right now
Yeah,
doing
no,
this. Yeah. Or when I
yeah.
get off, I'll share it, but I'll reshare it again in the morning.
For sure, yes, and anybody that's tuned into the show right now, I mean, if you got any questions for Jonathan, feel free to drop them there, man. We'll definitely he'll try to get to those questions before the end of the show as well. We're also going to feature his new track as well as his other song that came out in September, también, which I believe was Ella. Ella was the one that came out in September.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then Silencio, which is his new single that's
That's
out right
beautiful.
now. And we're going to get to those here in just a few minutes. So if you guys are tuned in, so hang tight for that. So you get a little feel for Joe, for Jonathan's music. I'm looking at the comments down here. Sabrina Hernandez también also says hello.
Saludos.
There you go. Thank you so much for watching the show, guys. So walk us through your songwriting process and what sparks your creativity, Jonathan.
I mean, there's no one right way to write a song, man. That's what I've learned. Um, it's just it's like it's never the same process for me. Sometimes I get inspired by uh, a word or a melody or something that happens to me during the day. A lot of my
Mm-hmm.
earlier songs though were written specifically for my wife. The love
Yeah.
songs, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are love songs, I those are easy to write, because I love my wife, so I'm able to
Correct.
put those words
Mm-hmm.
together. But then other times, like the song "Mírame" that I wrote and produced for Lalo Morales, that's one of my favorite songs that I've written. Um, that song talks about, "Look at me now, I'm doing better without you,"
Mm-hmm.
and I've never had that happen personally to me, but I've
Yeah.
seen it happen to so many other people around me, friends, families, whatever. And so I was able to write from that perspective. So it's never the same. Sometimes I'll sit down at the piano and I'll just start playing whatnot chords, and I'll hear a melody that I like, and I'll just record that, and I'll say, you know what, I'll come back to this later and throw some words on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes I'll come up with a phrase at work, talking, with my buddies and whatnot. I'm like, man, that would be
Yeah.
a good beginning for a song, or maybe a good chorus. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
there's no right way or no wrong way to do it. It's just that's why it's called an art. It's
Yeah.
it's
Just.
it's self expression. What
Mm-hmm.
what you think you can put together. So yeah, man, that's how I do it.
Cool. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's good enough for us. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we're we're the ones that where they're listening to it on our end, so it's some good stuff as
Yeah.
well. Bobby Castañeda has this to say right here as well. He says, "Hello, Keith, Tony, and Jonathan. Rudy Guerra, Jimmy Edward, and Paulino Bernal had a big influence in his life as well." So thank you.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's
And
watching over on our
it's
YouTube.
funny. It's funny because there's such a connection in our that the honor world is really big, but yet it's really so small. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those people that we mentioned right there have even are even connected to the guys from La Mafia.
Yep.
I remember the first time I recorded at La Mafia studio. Which by the way, that was a dream come true for me. I remember when I was a kid, and the first record I ever heard from La Mafia, believe it or not, was Un Millón de Rosas.
Wow.
That was the
Okay.
first one I ever heard,
Yeah.
and it was because a friend of mine at middle school, back then we used to have the compact CD players, the little Sony
Yeah.
ones,
Mm-hmm.
and
Walkmans,
yeah, the
CD
Walkmans,
Walkman or something like that.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. And we were in like math class or something. We had free time, and she was listening to something. I go, "What are you listening to?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm listening to La Mafia." I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "It's Tejano music." I'm like, I don't know what that is. I only know Los Bukis. I only know, yeah, that's what my dad would listen to, Los Bukis,
Mm-hmm.
Leodan, and of course pop music. I knew all American pop music, and I go, "Well, can I hear it?" She's like, "Yeah." So I put it on, and my entire that whole period we had free time. We didn't have class that day for some reason. The entire class, I listened to that whole album from beginning to end. I was like, "What is this? How come I've never heard this before?" I went home that day, and I think I just started looking up La Mafia at our local record shop. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
went one day, one evening. My parents took me, and I seen all the Mafia CDs, and it's like when I had money, I would buy one. And I bought all of their albums, and I became a fan of those guys.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? I already forgot. Why was I talking about them?
Oh, well, we were talking about the
Oh,
connection that they had. Yes,
yeah,
all of
yeah.
the
So I
guys there.
remember the first time I recorded there with them. I asked them, "Do you guys know Rudy Guerra?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we when we first started, we used to open up for the Latin Breed band, and Jimmy Edwards. Oh yeah, we used to." And so the connect started just making David De La Garza, the keyboard player for La Mafia.
La Mafia. Hmm.
His dad used to be a member of Jimmy Edwards' band. He was
Wow.
the keyboard player. So you start seeing the connections.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Our culture, our music is there's such a connection everywhere. You
Yeah.
can see the connecting lines in our industry. It's pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, sure, sure. Ricky Duran says here, I forgot to. LOL.
Thank you.
Rick, and we want to say in shout to Grand Rapids, Michigan, Juanita Jimenez out there. She says hello.
Saludos, Michigan. I love Michigan.
Yeah, people tuned in from all over the place tonight, man. Thank you guys
That's
so much for
awesome.
tuning
Yeah,
into the
thank y'all
show.
for logging in.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And we're gonna get to some of the new music here in just a bit. You got anything for him, right quick, Tony? Anything? I do definitely
No,
want to. I want to
not
play a.
not. That's it's a good conversation.
Yes.
We'll probably listen to a song or two here in a minute, but I'm just still trying to take it all in. That like I said, you don't hear uh, about the older school, the G's, right? And that's
It's funny because Latin Breed band. I don't know how familiar you guys are with their music,
Mhm.
but one time I was in San Antonio and I was hanging out with Rudy Guerra, son. His name is Joshua Guerra, and we were in San Antonio. We were doing a tour, and we were there for, I think, for like 2 weeks. We're playing at the different churches, and went to hang out with Josh Guerra, and he had all of the old Latin Breed albums, but on actual vinyl.
Final. Hmm.
I'll never forget this because he made me sit there for like 6 hours. He made me listen to every single song on every single album. And he's like, listen to this. This is way before time. Nobody's doing this right now. He's like, listen to this. They could do samba, they could do salsa, they did all this and all that. Manny Guerra. And then so we listened to him and I was like, God, these guys were way ahead of their time, man. The
Mhm.
musical arrangements that Rudy did for them were just out. And of course he had Manny Guerra on percussion. So yeah, man, big fan of theirs, big fan of their music, and they really were ahead of their time. Um, I love how man, what's the word I'm looking for? How dang, I can't remember that. I had the word on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, our music is just it just has so many different flavors. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
many different types of music of
Yeah.
I mean, like, why is the word slip?
It's not coming out, right?
It's not. I have it. It's like right here, but I can't say it. I'll figure it out later,
Yeah.
man.
So Ricky says here, I like the way you cater to your artist when you're writing for them. You had to do that in two different posts there. So yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's just something that I learned early on that. So basically, I love to work with people who can sing, who can really
Mhm.
sing.
Can really
That's
sing.
like my metal mole. Even though I'll work with anybody because I'm not a dream destroyer. I
Hmm.
love to help build people
Yeah.
up, and I'll work with anybody. If you got if you're motivated and you're a hard worker, and I see that you respect the craft, I'll work with you.
Hmm.
We can make magic happen, especially nowadays. Auto tune, beautiful, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I hear a person's voice, I automatically know I have this thing where I can think like what would sound good, what style of music, what lyrics would fit them best, what's their vibe. So
Hmm.
I appreciate that comment because it's not just
Yeah.
about writing a song, like say here you go.
Yeah.
Whenever an artist asks me for a song, I right away go listen to all their stuff. Listen to
Okay.
the tone of their voice. Listen to what songs do they sound better singing. What have been their hit songs?
Right.
And
Okay.
I try to go down that avenue as best as I can. It's like I told you before. It's hit or miss.
Hit or
Mhm.
miss.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
hit it right on the head. Sometimes that song sucks. Sometimes songs that I think are great, people don't like them. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep,
and
that's
then
true.
sometimes the songs that I think suck, people like them. It's like,
Yeah.
man, what? So
Yeah.
you, you just try to do your best. I try to do my best, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you say that you listen to voices, so I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. Who sticks out right now? What voice is out there that you're like, I'm really digging that, or maybe even collaborating with,
Man, that's easy. I'll answer right away. Monica Saldivar. Um,
wow.
what's the girl from San Antonio? I don't know why I'm forgetting her name now. She uh she does mostly cumbias, but she's working mainly out of LA with LA producers. Vanita.
Oh, Juanita Leo.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Vanita
Yes.
Leo.
She's
She's got
amazing.
a she's got a
Amazing.
unique great voice, but Monica is also a favorite of mine. Gabriela.
Hmm.
Gabriela can sing. She can sing.
Gabriela. Yeah.
And she's got such she's so cool, man. I wrote a song for her too. Um Cesar Martinez
Okay. Yeah.
from
David
sorry.
Lee Garza.
Yeah, from David Lee Garza. I actually have a song that I wrote for him last year that he was supposed to release this past month that he didn't, but I've heard
Hmm.
it. Bro, it's a great song. He needs to release that thing. He needs to
Yeah.
release that thing. And I keep telling him, 'cause it's like a mariachi cumbia, like a Juan Gabriel mariachi cumbia
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
that I
I remember
wrote
that.
specifically for him because I
Yeah.
knew he was gonna do what he did on it,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and he got Gabriel Zavala to produce it.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, man, this song it's so good. But yeah, he's one of my favorite male vocalists, right? Because he's unique.
Yeah.
He
Right.
doesn't have like a Jake Bettis voice or Ram voice. It's
He's
more
being
than Juan
himself.
Gabriel. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I like it. I like that uniqueness to it, and I love working with people who got unique voices. But yeah, man,
Those
that's
are
who I can
some
think of.
interesting names right there. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones I can think of. Mello, have y'all heard of Mello?
Yeah. Melo
Yeah,
Hernandez.
yeah, Mello Hernandez. He's got a
Yes.
great voice, man. I've
Yeah.
always been a fan of his voice. I was actually supposed to work with him a couple years ago, but it just didn't happen. But I like his voice. Um, that's all I can think of right now. If y'all know any, send them my way. I'm always looking to hear new
Always.
singers.
Yes, for
Mhm.
sure. There's no doubt about that. Now, Bobby Castaneda had well, he commented on something earlier. David De La Garza Sr. also played with Sonny and the
Yes,
Sunliners as well.
yes he did. Yes he
Yeah,
did. Yep, yep.
great.
It's
That
history right there.
he's on his game right there, right there. We
Yeah,
got
he sure is.
Dina también Madrid says hi, Jonathan as well. That's right.
Hello,
Saludos,
hello,
Dina.
Dina. Saludos.
Thank you for tuning
Are
in.
you writing to us from Spain?
All right. So Jonathan's got another question for you there, Jonathan. Says
What
here,
is
what
your
is your
opinion on Christian musicians playing secular music? I don't. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I have no opinion on that. I mean, it's all about the heart.
yeah,
It's all about the heart. Where's your heart at? You know.
mhm,
At the
yeah,
end of the day, it's a job too.
yeah,
It puts
exactly.
food on the table.
Hmm.
I know. I grew up. The way I grew up, it was considered wrong. But as you get older, you have your own life experiences. You learn. You know
Hmm.
Times change.
exactly. Times
Mhm.
change, and you realize a lot of these guys. A lot of my buddies here in town, man, they play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but that's extra food on the table. They
Hmm.
go play, they get off stage, they go home, they sleep. Next day, same thing. They're not about the party life, this and that. It's a job for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't. It's to me, it's not a big deal. I know a lot of people you still think that it's not right or whatever, but teach his own. I don't judge nobody.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Very true. So, Jonathan, tell me where are you originally from?
I'm here from Florida.
From Florida? From Florida?
Yeah, I
And
was born
you
in
live in?
the. Yeah, I was born in a little town, a city nearby. It's called Naples, Florida.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Familiar
but
with
my dad is from El DF, Distrito Federal, and my mom is from Dimmitt, Texas.
Dimmitt, Texas. That sounds
Wow.
very familiar.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
it's
a
near
couple
Lubbock.
hours for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's near Lubbock.
I'm
Yeah.
from Lubbock.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a lot of tours in Lubbock, man. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
a lot. It always stank there in Lubbock.
Yeah.
No, right? It's like it's a particular smell, right? Like
Yeah, we have a lot of feedlots here, so
right, yeah,
I know
yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah. I know,
Especially down into the Dimmitt area, that it
yeah,
gets
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's a
So
little
yeah,
bit more complicated.
yeah. But I was born and raised here in Florida. Lived here
Florida.
my whole life.
So
Yep.
how is the scene out there for you, Tejano music? Do you just go out there and I'm sure you have some friends there and a lot of people that still perform. There's a lot of groups there from Florida también that
There's
perform and play Tejano music as well.
there is, man, but it's like everywhere else. There's no more Tejano radio stations.
Yeah, that's the
There
sad
isn't,
part.
and so that really has hindered the growth of it.
Hmm.
It's kind of stunted. So the younger generation they don't know Tejano music.
Yeah,
They
that's
know
tough.
they Yeah, they don't know it at all. I mean, they know what's big, Peso Pluma, Grupo Frontera.
Yeah,
They know all that stuff, but they don't know who the heck La Mafia is. They don't know
yeah,
who the heck Jay Perez is. They might know who the Cumbia Kings are, but barely. Like,
yeah,
you know,
barely.
but the Tejano music, like I don't ever say, a lot of people say that the Tejano music's dead. I don't believe that because
Mhm.
we keep it alive.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Mm.
we keep it alive. My kids don't like Tejano music, but they like some Tejano songs. Like when I did that cover, "Que Pasó" from Los Palominos,
Yeah.
when I first showed my kids the original version, they were like, "Oh man, that sounds pretty good, Dad." I'm like, "Yeah," and then I showed them my version, like, "Oh, your version's way better."
Yeah, that was one of
But
your first singles, though, right? There, ¿Qué
yeah,
pasó?
that's actually the first cover I've ever done in my life,
Yeah,
and that's because I love that song, "Que Pasó."
yeah.
And I really love the guys from Los Palominos who I've had plenty of interactions with them as well.
Hmm.
At the studio, even over here in Florida when they've come down. So they've always been one of my favorite bands as well. But yeah, man, back to your question, Tejano music is it's not dead. It's just it doesn't really have a younger fan base anymore,
Yeah.
which is kind of scary because
Do you ever think that it's ever going to get back to those levels again? What are your thoughts?
I I don't know. I I I I, I
You're,
don't
you're
think
pretty,
so.
yeah, it's going to be very, very tough to try to get it back there. You know what I mean?
It really is,
Uh,
and it's I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a conversation for people who are smarter than me. I don't even
yeah,
like getting into it with people because
yeah.
it just goes so many different directions. You end up
Hmm.
falling off topic.
Right.
But I just think that you know re- I don't get it. I don't. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's like you said. Tejano music's not going anywhere. It's people like you and like me and Keith that are still out here doing the best that we can, putting you guys out there, and and letting people know that it's not going away. Um, it is what it is. It's like you said. It's probably a different conversation, different topic.
Yeah.
It could probably go on and on, but
Yeah, it
Right.
would definitely go on. That's another show that will go on and on and on. Then you can just start
yeah,
striking up, pissing off people, and all this other stuff. But.
Right. Because you look at an artist like Monica Saldivar,
Hmm.
who's what 20, 30 years too late. I don't want to say that, but imagine her in the 90s. I think
Yeah,
she would have flourished,
big time.
you know.
Yeah.
And she's a great artist. She really is. She's a great vocalist. I haven't seen her live, but I've seen a lot of her lives on Facebook, and she's a good performer. But nobody knows really who she is down here.
Yeah.
When I ask, when I'm talking music with other, unless they're musicians or they're in the industry,
Right. Right.
but the younger generation down here, they don't know none of the younger artists. They don't.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that's because of radio. I mean, are we not doing our part on TikTok? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, it really
It
is.
is. I
It
mean,
really is.
for the radio scene not to be there, and not just there. Here in the state of Texas, only a handful.
Yeah.
Of local radio stations. The rest is internet. But
Mhm. and
it's
and I
even
think
tough for
that's what
that.
it is. Is now with internet radio. It's not like a FM station. internet radio now, everybody can listen to us, even our soldiers overseas and stuff. And maybe that's what's going to help, years from now, that anybody could, log into to internet and listen to a radio station, and that would play a big role in keeping the music alive as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, even though it's not as big as it once was, I still love it, and I still try to promote it and push it as much as possible.
And there's so many young, you guys are still, you're still keeping your head up, still making the music, and there's a lot of new artists out there that they're not giving up. They're still going, and they're still doing their thing, and that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. There's always going to be a market for it. It's just not. It's not nowhere. Nothing like the '90s. Like, just forget that. Right that. I remember when I used to walk into Houston Sound Studio. Have any of you guys ever been there in Houston?
Houston Sound Studio? No.
Houston, it's now called La Mafia Studio, but it used to be called Houston Sound Studio. When you walk in, it's like a hallway, and then there's a door at the end of the hallway, and that leads to the bigger studio. But on the walls of that hallway, La Mafia had all their plaques for their albums, like Estás Tocando Fuego, Vida. And I remember seeing the platinum plaques, and the numbers were just crazy numbers for a time when there was no social media. It was all physical copies. 1 million albums sold, 500,000 albums sold. I'm like, what in the world? We're never going to see that again.
Never.
Unfortunately, it sucks that you talk to some of the younger generation and they don't know who La Mafia is. They don't. But at the same time, they came down here a couple months ago here to Immokalee, where I live, and they played at the casino. And I went to see them because I hadn't seen them in years perform. I hadn't seen them perform in years. And in the crowd, there were some young people. So obviously, some parents are doing their due diligence.
Exactly. They got to educate them. They have to continue to do that. Yeah, it's the only way we're gonna,
Obviously, the crowd was all like 98% viejones, older people like us.
Yeah.
But there were a couple kids. There were a couple kids in the crowd, and they were singing along. So that kind of gave me a little bit of hope.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, Jonathan, Josie has a question here for you. It's Josie Zamora. Sorry we got to it a little bit late, Josie. We were seeing this earlier on, but we just didn't want to interrupt the conversation we're having here. But she says, hello, Jonathan Espinoza, Keith Leal and co-host. Sing Ella for us, Jonathan. Love it. I don't know if you want to sing it or you want me to play it.
Yeah, go play it because I'm coming out with a little bit of a cold.
We're going to play that song for you right quick, Josie, all right? Just for you, all right? And everybody else that's tuning in the show as well, también. We get the show winding down. We'll be right back, though. We got some more Jonathan Espinoza coming up here. We also got the new tune here in just a few minutes. So you guys that are tuned in right now, share the live. Thank you so much. Tejano TV, everybody out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in right here to Stay at Tejano Time podcast. Tony V, Keith Leal, and my special guest tonight, Jonathan Espinoza. This is Ella right here, which is available on all digital platforms también. So go out there and stream it if you want it. Check it out right here one time. It's Ella. And again, big shout out going out to Josie Zamora.
Ella no sabe que el día que la conocí, de ella yo me enamoré y a ella yo me entregué. Ella no sabe que yo la llevo clavada en mi ser, quizás un día será mía. Ser más que amigos, ella no sabe que yo
you have it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Ella. All right. And that was the big O special request going out there by Josie Zamora, who was tuned into the show, and everybody else as well. We had some comments come through during during the song, should I say? Right. We got this here, and this was prior to kicking off the song, but. Right quick, let's see here. It's the hello to the Peña family and happy holidays to all. All right, so that was from Dina right there. But Josie says, absolutely love it. Beautiful song, Jonathan.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Awesome.
I
Awesome.
got great response, actually. Sandy Peña también said, great song. Jamtastic. There was from our boy Ricky. We also got, oh, Dina says she loves your hair. I don't know if you saw that there. Love your hair on the cover, Jonathan.
She's talking. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to
So,
remember what cover.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got another one coming up here in just a bit as well. But so Juan Trevino also chimed in over on YouTube as well, and this was prior to the song that we played, and he said, "says all you can do is make music from the heart and hope that people connect with it and open more doors like that." Definitely. Yeah.
Agree. Totally agree. That's
Yep.
kind of the attitude I took 2 years ago. You know, because as a producer, you hope your music does more than you hope it's going to do great, but that's
Mhm.
not always the case. You know,
Yeah.
and especially I try to put out. I try to make sure the music that I put out is something that is an excellent product and it's something that I would love to hear or that I think that deserves to be heard. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and sometimes you don't get the feedback that you want, and can it be discouraging? Heck yeah, it can.
Heck yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you keep going forward.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yep.
And like Rick says here, I mean, all genres are having them growing pains. Old school, new school. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I
Yep.
guess I can agree with that as well. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not not that I'm not into the other music or anything like that, but it's hard to tell when you don't listen to other genres every day like we do on Tejano. You know, I mean, we
Right.
see the struggle day in and day out. You know, but Ricky's on top of his game right there. Ricky's doing his research.
Right.
Good thing
Yeah.
there, Rick. Appreciate that, man. Definitely.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm not. Everything that I say is just an opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I don't think nobody does
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, you're
to
right.
fix the problem that is the Hunter music. I don't think there's one right answer.
Hmm.
But Juan Trevino's comment
On
is
point.
spot on.
Yeah,
Exactly on point. Just
on
do
point.
what you do from the heart, and hopefully, you touch some lives. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So, you have a new song out as well right now that just hit radio. Um, I would say probably a few weeks back. All right, not too long
Yeah,
ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it's doing very well. Tell me a little bit about that brand new single that you got out. Silencio is the name of the song.
Yeah. So the I'm in the process of recording an album, and that's
Okay.
going to be the first song on the album. But before that song, I like to do intros to all of my. If you've heard Carla Christina's album, there's
Hmm.
an intro to that album. If you hear some of my older stuff with Esperanza, I think I got two albums that have intros. So this new one I'm doing is going to have an intro. It's basically going to talk about how when I was a kid, I remember growing up listening to music that had meaning, music
Right.
that had lyrics that cut deep.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I enjoyed not just the musical composition, but I enjoyed the lyrics because they were just so good. And so Silencio talks about that. And then it jumps to the song Silencio, where the chorus is Apágame la radio, por favor. Ya estoy harto. Ya no quiero escuchar otro payaso. Mejor póngame la música de ayer. It's kind of taking shots at some of the. I don't like to be negative, but it's more like a performance, like a fun song. I was taking shots at because you hear sometimes the stuff that's hitting and it just doesn't have no lyrical depth to it,
Hmm.
and sometimes the people that are performing it they don't have a lot of talent. Like, but
Yeah.
again, I'm not a dream crusher. So I'll never crush anybody's dream, but you can tell who has talent and who doesn't, right?
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
so this song kind of takes shots at what we see happening around us now that people who don't necessarily have a lot of talent are hitting big time,
Hmm. Big time. Oh yeah.
and they're hit with songs that just repeat themselves over and over and over and over. And so I kind of wrote a song that talks about that in silencio.
And this is
But
it right quick though. But we're gonna go ahead, finish up. Go ahead.
but I say again, I ain't trying to start no problems with nobody. It's just it's art. It's art.
Yes.
That's all it is. My opinion as an artist.
And what is your Facebook page? Where can they follow
Mine.
you at? No,
Yeah,
I'm joking. I'm joking. We'll get to that later on, though, guys.
yeah,
No, he's
yeah.
not. It's all in good faith, guys. So just check out the song right quick and let us know what you think, también, and we'll be right back here with some more Jonathan Espinoza right here on Tejano Time Podcast, guys. So hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, check this one out. This is the brand new single. It's available también also on all digital platforms. Go out there and get it. All your favorite platforms are right there in front of you. Search his name, Jonathan Espinoza. Silencio is the name of the song. It's the brand new one. Check out the intro.
Silencio, por favor, tengo algo que decir. Pedazos de mi corazón les quiero compartir. Cada canción en la radio es lo mismo, aburrido, palabras sin sentido. ¿Dónde están aquellos que cantaban con su corazón? Que con su letra nos partían el corazón. Bla, 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 cha, 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 cha. Eso es lo que oigo cuando te escucho cantar. Habiendo tantos temas, tantos problemas en este mundo y tú sigues en lo mismo. Paz, hambre, guerra, pobreza, 4 temas calientitos, ponte a cocinar. Entiendo que tú eres del momento, pero lo mío es para todos los tiempos. Silencio, por favor, silencio, por favor, silencio, por favor, silencio, por favor. Apágame la radio, por favor, ya estoy harto. No quiero escuchar a otro payaso. Pónganme mejor la música de ayer y la voy a escuchar hasta el amanecer. Apágame la radio, por favor, ya estoy harto. No quiero escuchar a otro payaso. Pónganme mejor la música de ayer y la voy a escuchar hasta el amanecer. ¿Dónde están aquellos que cantaban con su corazón? Que con su letra nos partían el corazón. Bla, 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 cha, 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 cha. Eso es lo que oigo cuando te escucho cantar. Habiendo tantos temas, tantos problemas en este mundo y tú sigues en lo mismo. Paz, hambre, guerra, pobreza, 4 temas calientitos, ponte a cocinar. Entiendo que tú eres del momento, pero lo mío es para todos los tiempos. Que a ti no te gusta mi estilo, que a ti no te gusta mi letra, que a ti no te gusta mi cumbia. Eso me vale, me vale y me vale. Apágame la radio, por favor, ya estoy harto. No quiero escuchar a otro payaso. Pónganme mejor la música de ayer y la voy a escuchar hasta el amanecer. Apágame la radio, por favor, ya estoy harto. No quiero escuchar a otro payaso. Pónganme mejor la música de ayer y la voy a escuchar hasta el amanecer.
Wow, there you go, right there. That is it. That's just the brand new song right there, Silencio. You can request it on your local radio station, internet radio stations, or you can also stream it, guys. Go out there and stream it on your favorite platform también as well, man. Some good stuff, Jonathan. Some more music. I mean, it's fresh, it's different, and I like it. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. That's so the on the bajo there is Eddie Perez from San Antonio or New
Okay.
Braunfels. I think it's New Braunfels. And then I did everything else on the song. So yeah, man, I have like 13, 14 songs just sitting in my computer, and I decided earlier this year I had a conversation with Juan Trevino.
Mhm.
Like I said before, he's one of my mentors, and whenever I have a question about songwriting or music or anything, I have that relationship where I can call him and
Yeah.
what do you think about this, or what's your opinion on this? And he encouraged me earlier this year to release my original music.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation we had, and And I was like, you know what, man, he's right. He does have a point. The conversation went deeper than what I'm sharing right now, but
Hmm.
so, little by little, first I wanted to release that cover, which was Que Pasó, because I really love that song and I had never done the cover. And I
Yeah.
remember I had criticized people who did covers
Hmm.
back in my Facebook. If people want to call me out, that's fine. I used to
Yeah.
criticize them like originals, originals. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
I went and did a cover this year.
No, I mean,
But
I'm the same way, I mean,
yeah.
but it's always the same song, what I
Yeah.
mean, that's been done 30, 40 times already. But if
Hmm.
it's one that's just, that's there, it's on their album from, 20 years ago, it's different and yes, it never really got the airplay that it deserved. It's
Exactly.
okay to go ahead and do something like that, but something like, that you hear till this day, they still play the original and people are doing the same song cover. It's kind of tough. It's kind of rough. Uh,
Right. And then to my credit, the guys from the band Los Palominos loved my version of it. And
yeah.
they were
Awesome.
I was surprised at how surprised they were that somebody was covering them. I'm like, I can't be the first person to cover Los Palominos, but I think more than anything, it was that particular song because it's such a good song. But you're like you said, it never got radio play, and it wasn't
What
it
it
wasn't a
deserved. Yeah.
single, right?
Hmm.
And I love the harmonies on that song. I remember one time they were with me, and I was taking them. They were on a tour here in Florida, and I was taking them from show to show. And I asked them about that song. I was like, guys, how many stack vocals did y'all do in that song? And I'm here thinking I'm gonna get a detailed response, and they're gonna give me, details, and they're like, we don't remember.
We don't remember.
I was like, okay. So yeah, man. So anyways, I did that one, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start releasing songs that I just have sitting there. So I'm gonna release another one in January, and probably another one in February, and then probably in March I'll release an entire album.
Any thoughts on maybe a collab with someone?
There's a song, actually the one that I'll release in January is gonna be a duet with a female. I just haven't decided who I want to bring in to it because it's a beautiful song and it has to be a good vocalist. And I don't care if they
Mhm.
all sing me.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't.
You
Yeah.
know.
I don't because I'm not I'm what they call an acquired taste vocally. I'm not a
Mhm.
Jay Perez. I'm not a Ram Herrera. I don't have that kind of voice, and I never will. And I'm okay with that. I have more of a. So when I was on the road, anytime we finish singing, most people would always say that I reminded them of either Sting or Alejandro Sanz. That's the compliment I would always get. To me,
Mhm.
it's a compliment. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. For sure.
And so, you start realizing, okay, well then you're not that great of a vocalist. You got your own distinct kind of vocal, and I'm cool with that. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there is a collab that I want to do uh for this next song, and so I'll probably be reaching out to a couple. It's got to be a female because
Yeah.
it's written for a female, and hopefully I get one of them ladies to come onto the song.
Great.
And that's
Great.
what's going to be the neat part is going back to the word originals.
Yes.
You're being you, and like you said, you don't care if the female
Yeah.
outdoes you. You know what, man? You're doing you, and you're comfortable with it, and you've got your listeners out there. And that's what we need more is more people that are being themselves and not trying to copy. Nothing against nobody, like you said earlier. You're not trying to be somebody else. You're being Jonathan, and that's what we need more of is more original, uh, not so much the copycat
Yeah.
type.
Right.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that me molesta when I see an artist who has talent, who can sing, but you can
Mhm.
totally see they're trying to be someone else that we've already had that artist, bro,
Right.
or young lady. Come
Mhm.
on, be yourself. We need something new and different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes they've got a song. I'm not going to say any names, but sometimes I'm listening to something. I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. That right there. And then you listen to another song, like, oh my goodness, now you're trying to sound like somebody else. It's like there's nothing wrong with your voice. Uh, be original. Be
Yeah.
yourself.
Mhm.
Absolutely, I totally
Mhm.
agree. Totally agree with that.
Yep. So Ricky threw out Monica Salivar, maybe, perhaps, a collaboration. So that would be a great
We'll
one as
see.
well. see.
We'll
You
see.
never know. Ricky's already putting money on the table.
Hey, you know what? I would like to say this, and you can look it up. I did a duet with Oscar de la Rosa from the Mafia on my was it the fourth album, third album, fourth album? It's an album called El Vive from Grupo Esperanza. You
Mhm.
can go look it up on iTunes. El Vive Grupo Esperanza. The name of the song is Cantaré. It's a Latin Christian song. I wrote, produced it. Oscar heard it, loved it. Can I be on this song?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're not gonna say no.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
for sure.
beautiful ballad that he sang on,
Nice.
and it's available. You can go. I might post it tonight on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, throw it on there so everybody that's
Yep.
watching right now might be interested there. Just check out his Facebook page también. Josh Ordonez says here, Jonathan, what's up, bro? Saludos.
Saludos, bro. He's out in Lubbock.
Lubbock.
I think
Wow.
Lubbock. Yeah, I think he's in Lubbock. Yeah.
Lubbock, awesome. And we also have one that I did not share earlier also. Danny Noyola from Corpus Christi. Saludos, amigos. Alma and Danny Noyola from over in Corpus that got us tuned in también.
Saludos, Danny.
And let's see.
Yeah, we were talking about Dimmet, Texas. También out. Shout
There
out
they
to
are.
Sandy Peña.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Los
awesome.
Arcos. I don't know if you're familiar with them out of Dimmet. Los Arcos, hermano. Out of
No,
Dimmet.
I'm not. Awesome. Saludos, saludos.
Great
We
deal.
got
Appreciate
Javier
everybody.
también from Plainview. Saludos out to Javier Natividad.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
got a lot of
Saludos.
listeners, man. Thank you guys for logging in and checking out this interview with Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
yes, for sure. There's no doubt. Josie says, yes, please do. Please do. And I believe what we were talking right before that, I guess, the collab or something like that.
Yeah.
Put your Facebook page. I believe that's what it is. So where can they find you on your social media? What platforms are you on?
On all of them, it's all under Jonathan Espinoza. Everything is Facebook's Jonathan Espinoza. TikTok is I am Jesp. I am Jespin. Sorry. So Jonathan Espinoza, but I just put Jespin.
Okay.
But if you type in Jonathan Espinoza, all my stuff comes up.
It'll comes up. Cool. And I believe what you wanted was for you to go ahead and put that one's from from Grupo Esperanza, the song that you collabed there with
Oh yeah,
Oscar.
yeah.
So
Oscar.
she's definitely said yes, please do, so she
Yeah,
can go out and search for it.
I'll throw it up there.
There we go.
Yeah, you said that was a Christian
Yeah,
based or something.
yeah.
I'm always looking for Christian music because that's what we do on our radio station on Sundays is play Christian music. So I'll definitely be looking for that to add it to the rotation.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate
Wonderful. Wonderful. Juan over in Ruskin, Florida says saludos.
that. Saludos, Juan.
So
I've never
everybody-
met him, but he's a supporter of Tejano music.
Great.
I know
deal.
he
Glad
supports
to
a
hear
lot
that.
of the local bands. He's shown his support to a band out of Naples called G5. I produced a bunch
Okay.
of their
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I produced a bunch of their first stuff. But he's a big time supporter of all Florida talent, but Tejano music in general.
There
Yeah.
you go. All
Saludos.
right. Appreciate you tuning in, Juan. Thank you so much, my brother. All right, guys. So I said we're going to wrap things up here on the show. My guest tonight, once again. So what's the story? You said you're working on an album right now. You're going to complete an album or an EP. Is that something that's in the
No,
works for
it's
you?
gonna be a full
Be a
album.
full album.
I've
Great.
always kind of been a Contreras. When I started seeing that everybody's doing EPs, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do what everybody's
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
already it's a full album.
Yeah, and you got enough material to do it, so why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
great deal. So yeah, and let me just send some more shout outs right quick to some people that are listening to us or that are watching. Let's see, Marissa Martinez Ayala is tuned in to the show as well. Sabrina Hernandez, we got Joanne Rosales Salas, Joey Sanchez, Veronica Lopez. Let's see here, we got Henry Peña, that's right, from the San Antonio Oldies show as well, is tuned into the show.
Awesome.
Saludos,
Saludos,
Henry.
yes.
Gene Benavides is also tuned in. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. Everybody that's all over Facebook, Chris Zavala también, thank you so much. Amy Lynn Basan, wherever you guys are watching from right now, whatever. Maricela también is tuned in. April Corrales, let's see here. We got Dina también still tuned in. Para Sandy, thank you so much for watching the show tonight with us here. Everyone that's tuned in también. Para Domingo Elias Tresero, también another artist there in the industry, has got us tuned in as well. On Tejano TV, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
tuning in. Yes, everybody out there. my co-host Tony as well. We appreciate you once again, Tony, for helping out again tonight on the show. And
Oh yeah.
Jonathan, we can't wait for some new stuff. Again, you already got new music out right now, but you got a new single that's going to be dropping. You said I believe in January.
Yeah, probably
January.
towards the end of January. Like it's always harder to do duets because they live over there, I live over here.
Yeah,
But we'll get it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
figure it
out.
out.
It's gonna be a really nice duet. It's called Somos Únicos, and it's a good
Nice.
song. And I want to do man. Maybe I'm giving away too much, but I don't care. It's gonna come out eventually. Anyways. So the cover, like the art cover, I already have it. I wanted to get somebody who can do like Hollywood makeup because the song is called Somos Únicos, and basically the message is we are unique. So I want
Mhm.
me and the person I'm gonna sing with, maybe they could make us look like some kind of weird aliens. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Hey, it's not
But it's gonna
bad.
be a cumbia. It's gonna be a cumbia though. Hey, gotta be
Okay.
different.
Got to
Yeah.
be different. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna, like you said, just stray away from what everybody else is doing. Be different, music wise and everything. I mean, he puts a lot of hard work, guys, in the studio, and he to perfect his work. There's no doubt about that. Silencio is his new single right there, and you got your little deal right behind you there that was on your cover, right, as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So my wife made this.
yeah,
There's a-
nice.
There you go. Yeah,
Check that
the
out.
bullhorn.
Yeah.
Mm.
There you go. And that's the new single that's out right now. All his music is available on all digital platforms, guys. Stream it, man. Add it to your playlist, man. If you heard it and you liked it, guys, definitely go and add it to your playlist. As to look him up, Jonathan Espinoza. He's also on all digital platforms. También all social media platforms under Jonathan Espinoza. You can find it there. Do go to his Facebook page because shortly after the show, he's going to add the duet or a link, I guess, for that song that they can
Yes,
check out. Right there, you go.
definitely,
All right, that's
definitely.
right. So, again, Jonathan, it's always great talking to you, man. I know you've been on some of the radio shows around the studio here with my boy Ricky in the past, and we were happy to have you on the show tonight to get you and your music out, so that way definitely we get to, spread the
Yeah,
word, man, on what Jonathan Espinosa is about.
I'm gonna be heading out that way in December, so maybe I could stop by the radio station in person.
Sure, that would be great,
Uh,
man.
so we'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Thank
Definitely.
you, Jonathan, for joining
Thank,
us, and keep being you, man. That's awesome, and
thank
we'll
you,
be looking
brother.
forward
Thank
to a
you.
lot more from you.
Awesome,
Um,
but it was nice meeting you for the first time as well.
yes, sir.
For
Thank
sure,
you.
for sure.
Thank
Definitely
you.
looking forward to the next already, man. So, you guys have a blessed night. Thank you so much again, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon.
Thank you, brother. Good night. Have a good
Good
night.
night. You too.
You too.